My dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is your teacher Syed Fakhri and we are discussing vectors. So, without further ado, I just introduce you to the basic theory of vectors plus what is needed to attempt questions successfully in your exam. What information you must have. First thing, let's discuss what vectors are. In physics, you have already studied that vectors are the quantities which can only be expressed using magnitude and direction both, as well as there are scalar quantities which can only be used which can only be expressed by simply using a number, or they are scalable. For example, you can say that if you ask time from somebody, the person is going to reply 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. That means that a single number would convey the full information to you that what time is it. Similarly, if you go to buy any article and you ask the person to give you 2 kgs of that, the person is not going to ask you that in north or west or south or east, where do you want it. Simply that person is going to weigh it and hand over you the quantity. So there are scalar quantities which simply need a numerical value to be expressed, fully expressed or explained, or you can scale them in if you want to understand it simply. So there are quantities like time, okay, for example, mass. These such quantities are scalar quantities. In other vector quantities can only be expressed whether you want it or not, that direction is added with them. For example, for instance, you say velocity. Velocity, you already know the definition, that is the rate of change of uh, direction. If I'm right, rate of change of direction is displacement. So displacement is also one vector quantity. Velocity is the rate of change of speed, I believe. So displacement is there, velocity is there. Similarly, rate of change of acceleration is rate of change of velocity is acceleration, or rate of change of speed is acceleration. So there are vector quantities. Okay. Now you, whether you want it or not, direction is already added in it. So when you mention velocity, it means that it is in some direction. Okay. Now this is the theory which you will not find in past 20 years paper. So this is not relevant to your exam. I have just told to you because it is mentioning the topic vector. Okay, so you should know it. The details of it you have already studied in physics. So we stop here. Now we come to certain questions which are actually telling us how to express vectors. For example, we express it in x and y column vector. This is called column vector. Okay, in this form, that the value here is mentioning x coordinate, the value here is mentioning the y coordinate, or the magnitude. Other thing which you are going to study in vectors is the magnitude of a vector. For example, a vector AB is there. You need to express it. You're going to do x square plus y square is equals to the magnitude. So you're going to get the magnitude. This thing is called the mod. It means that you always are going to have a positive value. A negative value is never needed in a vector. Okay, for a magnitude of a vector, mind it, because direction is always going to be negative. So suppose if I say draw a vector to 3, what you are going to do, you are going to say some point of reference, but mostly it is asked and you simply draw it. It means that 2 units to right and 3 units up. If it is asked like this, you are simply going to draw it. Okay, hope it is clear. Let me draw it nicely so you can understand it. 2 units to right and 3 units to up. Hope this is okay. Now suppose if you draw another vector, now you can see that directions are opposite. Okay, magnitude would remain same if you are going to calculate the magnitude for both. It Both the magnitudes are going to be same, but the directions are different. So you can say that, suppose if it is AB, this is vector AB 2 and 3. So you can calculate the magnitude here. Okay, and you say 2 square plus 3 square is going to give you 4 plus 9, that is root of 13. So this is root 13. Okay, now this is root 13. I've been teaching students, so this is something here already. Now this is root 13. Now this is for AB. Now suppose if it is minus AB or BA, both, we can say both, we can express it in both terms. Suppose it is AB, okay, then it would be BA. You can see you always mention this direction, right? This is AB, this is negative AB or BA. Now let's take the magnitude of this. So magnitude is calculated. Again, you're going to see that because both the signs will change, both the signs will change here. When you're going to put a negative here, it will become minus, and this is also going to become a minus. So let's see, because it is going, see, when I say that this and this, it is going to become negative, right? From here to here. In other term, you can also, for for expressing or explaining, you can say that this thing is for right or left, and this coordinate is for up and down. Okay, y coordinate, we know that y coordinates move vertically up and down, and x coordinates move horizontally left to right. Okay, so this is minus 2 squared, and when you square negative number, it automatically becomes a positive number. So be it AB or be it BA, both are going to be of same magnitude, right? Hope it is cleared, right, students? Now, there are two ways in which you are going to see the vectors. For example, there is one head to tail rule. Right? For example, this, and suppose this. Now, we simply suppose this is A and this is B. All right. Now let's calculate. This is A vector. You can see that it is 2 units to right and 2 units to up. So I am going to resolve it into its coordinates 2 and and from here to here, it is how much? It is 0, because sorry, not 0, it is 1, positive 2, because it is going to right. But is it going up or down? No, so it would remain a 0. Hence it would become 4 and 2. Now if we are going to check the resultant of it, check the resultant, this is called the resultant. From here to here, this is head to tail rule, this is the resultant. And now interestingly, you will see that on x-axis the resultant is 1 2 3 4 and 1 2. So on x-axis it is moving 4 units to right, and on y-axis it is moving 2 units to up. Up. So this is right and this is up. Similarly, again we draw some more, and see, this is negative direction. I'm drawing it intentionally so you can actually understand what is the meaning of this. So I drew that one. Now I have drawn this one, and now I will change its direction. Let's see. Now there are two. One is green, okay, and the other is red. So further explanation. Let's see. This, the red one I mark R. Okay, this is R. The green one I mark as G. This is green. Okay. Now you can see that it is going 2 to right and 2 to down. So right, we know that is positive x, and 2 down means negative y. Okay, here you see that This is going rightwards as well as downwards. So both of them are negative. So this would be R, we have already seen. R is of 2, 2. And G is what? Let's see. G is how much? So you can see that first we are going to mention the x coordinates 1, 2, 3, 4 to left minus 4 and 2 to down. So it is minus. All right. Now, if someone wants to know what is the resultant of this, what is the resultant of this? So we are simply going to say that R plus G. Okay, this is the head and tail of this. So we call it head to tail rule. Right? We call it head to tail rule. But you should know the method. What do we call it? Doesn't matter. Right? You should know the method. So R is being added to G. And I hope that I have already explained few things in the class, so you must be remembering it. So I just write it like this. Okay, R, vector R I have mentioned, vector G I have mentioned, vector G. So it is minus 2 and minus 4. So how true it is, let's see. So you can see that minus 2, so it is from this point it is going 2 left. Okay, and from here it is going 4 down. So you can see that left and down both are being mentioned with negative. Students, this is more than enough theory. I believe that if you just ratify this, because you have to memorize, because concepts should be memorized. Okay, camp concepts once are memorized, then you are going to actually do any questions very fast. Let's see. I just simply tell you, for instance, there is P, Q, and R. Now this is exactly, or better make it O, so it's easier for you. Okay. Now this is OP and this is OQ. How does the PQ work? Suppose if I want to go from P to Q, I will always consider the thought of way or road. Okay. I have to go from P to Q, from P to Q, from point P to point Q. I have to go. What should I do? I have to take a route. But this tells me that this is going this way. If I'm going to go the wrong way, it will become negative OP. Okay. And when I will go the right way like this, it will become plus OQ. Alright. So if I want to go from P to Q, what will I do? I'll take this route. Negative OP, positive OQ. This is how I'm going to always going to work it out. You will see in the coming videos that we are only following the same basic concept over and over again. All right. So I take a stop here, upload it. So it is easily uploaded and you can watch it. Do let me know if there is anything I'm missing. I'll explain that as well. Thank you very much.